All right, we got to talk. There's a report out right now, and if it's true, it could change the outlook of the entire 2025 season for the Raiders. No exaggeration. The name at the center of it? Christian Wilkins. According to Mitchell Renz, someone who's been covering the Raiders consistently, he says that Wilkins might need another surgery, and not just some minor cleanup thing. This would be a serious, season-altering kind of surgery, the type that could cost him the entire 2025 season. Now look, I know people are going to immediately start with skepticism. Come on, Mitchell Renz, he's just a YouTuber. I get it, I really do, but here's the thing. This isn't some wild rumor from a random fan account. Mitchell didn't say, "I heard a whisper," or "people are talking." He said he got this directly from an inside source, someone connected, someone who knows. And I know for a fact that Mitchell has real ties inside the Raiders building, just like I do. I talk to players. I talk to people who are in and around that locker room. It's not far-fetched at all to think someone close to Wilkins or close to the medical staff shared this with him. So here's the report. Christian Wilkins is still feeling foot pain from the surgery he had 7 months ago. 7 months, man. He should be fully healed by now. But he's not. He's got pain when he walks. That's a red flag. And now, according to this source, the Raiders team doctors are recommending he get a second surgery. That second procedure would basically reset the clock. You're looking at 3 to 6 months of recovery, which, let's do the math, means we could be without Wilkins for most, if not all, of 2025. Now, here's where it gets even more complicated. Wilkins doesn't want surgery. He wants to play through the pain, because he knows what that rehab timeline means. He knows this could be a lost year if he goes under the knife now, so he's fighting it, trying to push through. And that puts everyone, the coaches, the medical staff, and honestly, the fans too, in a tough spot. Because you can't force a player to have surgery, but you also can't pretend like this isn't a huge deal. Let's talk about the contract. Raiders gave Wilkins close to $30 million per year. That's elite defensive tackle money. And listen, before this injury issue popped up, it looked like a smart move. Wilkins is one of the top interior defenders in the game. He wasn't just solid, he was disruptive, a tone setter, a guy who could wreck plays even if he didn't get the stat. You look at what he did in Miami, those first couple years, solid. Year 4, he took off. Then the jump continued. He hit that elite level. That's why the Raiders paid him. And even in the short time he's been with us, just 5 or 6 games, he was making an impact. Every single snap. I watched the tape. I watched the trenches. And Christian Wilkins was a factor on nearly every down. Whether it was blowing up inside zone, drawing double teams, or redirecting the run game, he was doing exactly what you pay a guy like that to do. But now, that contract looks shaky. If he's not on the field, you're paying superstar money for zero production. And yeah, some people are going to look at this and say it's a bad deal. Here's the reality though. Injuries like this are unpredictable. It's easy to say in hindsight, well, maybe they shouldn't have signed him. But that's not how the NFL works. You take the risk, you evaluate the medicals, and sometimes things still go wrong. Now, let's talk about the Jones fracture. That's what Wilkins had surgery on. And the problem with that injury is that sometimes the first surgery doesn't fully take. I think the number is like 20% of players need a second procedure. And even though once it heals fully, it's usually good to go. You've got to get to that point first. And clearly Wilkins isn't there. If he chooses to keep playing through the pain, the risks are real. That foot could get worse. He could do permanent damage. Or he could just be a shell of himself out there. Half effective, not explosive, unable to anchor or get off the ball the way he normally does. And that's why, personally, I think he should just go ahead and get surgery now. Shut it down. Rebuild. Come back 100% next season. Yeah, it sucks. But if that gives us a dominant Christian Wilkins in 2026 and 2027, I'd rather have that than watch him struggle through a painful season and possibly make it worse. And look, if we get deep into the season and we're sitting at 2-8 or 3-7, at that point, you absolutely get the surgery and start the recovery. It's common sense. Okay, while we're talking about Raiders, there's another interesting stuff going on with the offense. More specifically, the run game. And this comes straight from Lincoln Kennedy, former Raiders great, now back with the team during minicamp. He dropped some insight recently about what Chip Kelly is doing with this offense. And I gotta say, I love it. So here's the scoop. The Raiders are implementing a hybrid blocking system. On outside runs, perimeter stuff, we're going zone. That's your wide zone, your outside zone concepts. But inside, we're going man, power, duo. Let me break that down a little more. Zone blocking on the perimeter means the offensive line is moving laterally. They're creating lanes by stretching the defense out. Your running back, ideally a guy with burst and vision, makes one cut and explodes through a seam. Think Christian McCaffrey. Think of Devon Achane. That's where Ashton Jeanty fits in perfectly. He's built for this, and Chip Kelly is no stranger to these concepts. At Oregon, with the Eagles, at UCLA, he's used wide zone for years. It works, and it especially works when you've got a running back with Jeanty's skill set. Now the inside game, that's where it gets really interesting. Lincoln Kennedy said they're using man blocking, which means power concepts, and more specifically, DUO. If you know, you know. DUO has been exploding around the league thanks to coaches like Sean McVay. It's not complicated, but it's brutally effective. You've got your guards and centers double-teaming defensive tackles. Then they climb to the second level and take out linebackers. That opens up multiple lanes. For the running back, it's like, here are 5 possible gaps. Pick one and go. What I love about Duo is it gives the offensive line a clear assignment, and it gives the running back freedom. And if you've got a guy like Jeanty, who has vision, patience, and acceleration, it's lethal. The Raiders were already practicing this in OTAs. I saw the clips, I saw the double teams, I saw the climb. I said then, they're installing DUO, and now Lincoln Kennedy confirms it. If we're running wide zone on the edges and DUO up the middle, that's a deadly combo. You don't need anything else. Those two alone can carry an entire rushing attack. And by the way, Boise State, where Jeanty played, ran a ton of DUO. So again, this isn't new to him. He knows how to read it. He knows how to run it. You don't have to teach him, you just put him in the system and let him go. Add in the fact that Kolton Miller is one of the best run-blocking tackles in football. And I'm telling you, if we get even average QB play and a solid O-line performance, this offense is going to surprise people. Now listen, people said I was being negative last year. They unsubscribed, said I was rooting for Luke Getsy to fail. I wasn't. I was just being honest. I saw what he was doing and it wasn't good. Same thing with Paul Guenther years ago. That guy couldn't install a defense to save his life. He was coasting off Mike Zimmer's system in Cincinnati, and when he had to build his own in Vegas, he flopped. But Chip Kelly? He's different. He's installed offenses at every level. Oregon, NFL, UCLA, Ohio State. This guy's done it 5 or 6 times. He knows how to build a run game from scratch. He understands tempo, rhythm, leverage, all of it. That's why I'm optimistic. Even with the Wilkins news hanging over us, I'm genuinely excited about what we're building on offense. To wrap it all up, if this report is true, and I'm leaning toward believing it, then we're likely not going to have Christian Wilkins in 2025. And that's tough. It sucks. But it's not the end. If he gets healthy, if the team keeps building, if Chip Kelly gets this run game rolling, we still have a shot to be competitive. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comments.